So one of the other reasons that I wanted to get off and back on is because I wanted to download that part on the 5th floor. Oh, hang on. Because I'm curious about that door. So let's see here. But we're gonna do some reads, do some things and some stuff. I'm waiting for my Wi-Fi to connect. Yeah, that was really, really odd. But I am curious. I'm curious about that door because I know I swung my camera over it before I turned. So, yeah. So we're gonna see what we can see. Obviously, won't be tonight, but why is this saying? I love it. There we go. Okay. Because I'm wanting to see. So for those of you guys that didn't watch just a little bit ago, when I was up on the 5th floor, which is supposedly where they see Emily, I had gone around a hallway. I had come down a hallway over here and we were talking, and then I came back and I went that way and down the creepy hallway over there and found room 527. And then when I came back, there was a door that was open, and it's like a closet. It's not a room, it was just a closet. And there's no like maintenance, there's nobody up there. So that's another reason why I was like, let me get off of this live and get on a second live and see what's going on. Hopefully this will download because it was only 32 minutes. So we're gonna let that download. In the meantime, let me get on here, get my list pulled up. All right, so Miss Edith is going to be first. I think my list is full for this evening, but I will be doing these again tomorrow. If you would like to grab one. I also will be doing some interesting reads on Saturday during the day. And then I'm going to hang out with my kids because Kay's birthday is Sunday. Brody's birthday is a week from Monday. And we won't get to see Brody for his birthday. So we're going to hang out and cook dinner together. We absolutely are. We absolutely are. This trip has worn me out. Well, Edith, I mean, this is the opportunity card right off the bat. Okay. So today is 888. That is the Lionsgate portal. The Lionsgate portal is 2 weeks, with 8-8 being the peak of it. This is when multiple things astrologically line up, like the earth, the moon, and there's another one, and it just went out of my brain. But also everything lines up with Sirius, which is the dog star, basically. It's a time of everything in your life coming into alignment, all your ducks in a row, for lack of better terms, so you can manifest and move forward. These reads are all about what is it that is changing, needs to change. Where do you need to focus your manifestation? So Edith, the first card you have is opportunity. And then you had these two come out together. So you have solitude, and then you had healing chaos come out underneath it like that. And then you have change. What I would say you need to focus on is reinvention, really. You have the opportunity right now to be who you want to be going forward. So what this tells me is that you just walked away from a really intense situation. This could be a job, this could be family shit, it could be friends, it could be a relationship, whatever it is. It needed to end, and now you have the opportunity to move forward and to be someone completely new, completely different. Reinvent Edith, reinvent the wheel, reinvent everything about you. The other thing is this: having the solitude card with healing chaos underneath it, this is going to be the hard part of what you need to do going forward. We all have to go through a time in our life where we realize that we have to be good with us before we ever try to do anything else, even if it's not relationship wise. Like, you really need to learn how to be a good friend to yourself before you can really be a good friend to someone else. You need to learn how to take care of you before you can take care of anyone else. Having that solitude card right there is going to be the hardest part of this, of knowing that you're going to be okay with you, that you don't need someone's validation, that you don't need anything else, you don't need anybody coming along behind you, you don't need to take care of you see what I'm saying? Like, nothing like that. And then that's where this change card comes in. So yours is a little bit of a journey. I hate knowing that you just went through some really intense, deep stuff like that to cut everything off and be healing from stupid, chaotic shit, because no one likes to do that. But at the same time, that is climbing the mountain. That is not being in a valley. That is not being on a plateau. That is climbing the mountain. It's doing the things. This is the part where you have a massive, massive amount of growth. Doesn't mean it's great and doesn't mean it's fun. But this card right here is 100% worth it. That leads me to ask, I kind of want to ask, what opportunity was just handed to you? Because I feel like this right here was literally just handed to you. It just comes with a huge but. You can have this, but. You can go here, but. You can do this, but. That's where this healing chaos comes in. I'm going to advise you to look really, really hard at this opportunity and what's making you apprehensive about the change, making that, but you have to do this, okay? What is it about this opportunity that's making you apprehensive? Is it something that's triggering this need for having someone around? Is it something that's triggering the need for, I don't want to say being complacent, being comfortable in a situation? Get 100% out of your comfort zone. That's the only way you're going to get through this, and you're going to change, and you're going to grab this opportunity by the balls. Thank you, Victoria. Edith, this is not a time for you to do the normal comfort. I'm just going to kind of plod along with everything. This is the time for you to reinvent who you are, to move forward. Y'all aren't seeing me yawn. Don't look. Don't look. Y'all aren't seeing me yawn. Does that make sense, Miss Edith? I haven't seen you guys very much this week because I don't know what happened. Like Saturday, I noticed it a little bit. And well, Friday I noticed it, and Saturday I got bad. But Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, my eye right here was swollen so bad. It was so bad. It hurt so bad. So I've had to put eye drops in. But I know Miss Edith was here a second ago. It is being recorded for you to watch later, yes. So I hope that makes sense. Again, don't look at the yawn. Good. Did that make sense, love? I didn't mean to make you guys yawn. Is the opportunity to come, or is it already here and I don't see it? I think it's already there and you just don't see it yet. Because this is like in front of you right now. Now, it could be about to hit this next week if it's not there yet, but I kind of have a feeling that it's already been set in your lap. And you may just not realize that it's an opportunity. Because sometimes things come to us, a new job or a promotion or something like that. And when we look at it, we roll our eyes because we're like, oh my God, not again. Or, oh my God, I don't want to talk to this person again or whatever. And we don't see it as an opportunity for change. We see it as another rock on our back. Does that make sense? But like I said, it could be coming. If so, it's going to be within the next couple of days. By probably Tuesday. But this, I think it's already here and you just don't see it yet. Really. So yeah. I love too that you were the first one I read and that you had these amazing cards right here, because I don't know if you saw, but so many people came in and they were like, they needed to hear that as well. Hey Lando, why am I yawning so much all of a sudden? I wasn't yawning before I sat down. I wasn't yawning before I came in here. That is so weird. But I will tell you, if you guys didn't watch a while ago, I should have made my kid go with me up to the 5th floor. Dude, it was weird up there. Okay, it was weird.
Nothing's ever weird.
It was weird.
You're weird and you make it weird.
I don't make it weird. This child, I just want you guys to know, she's been funnily unkind to me.
Love you.
Been unkind in a funny way to me. I love you too. And then said, so she's mean, but it's funny. Oh, scared. That's for your, oh, hang on. Let me see Edith's comment. I'm just scared that it's for my love life, and that's why I'm scared of change. We all get scared of change, especially with our love life, to be honest. We get, what the fuck? We get stuck in this rut. All of us do. Like, none of us can escape this bullshit. We get stuck in this rut of either we have to have somebody, or we don't need anybody, or we keep on attracting the same kind of person over and over and over. It's really, really hard to learn to be by yourself after you've constantly had someone around for so long. And it's really hard to learn who you are, especially if you've had someone around for so long. Thank you for that. I will say, as hard as it is, it's fantastic on the other end. Does that make sense? It's fantastic on the other end. But you can go too far the other way too. I just quit trying to date at this point. Thank you, Miss Kathy. Yeah, I just quit trying to date at this point, which is probably not the right thing, but at the same time, that right there, Deb, I'm not willing to give up my independence, Deb said. That's 100% it. Heather F, you are next. Thank you, Jolene. Now I have that song in my head. Apparently Jolene's going to have 2 cards in the middle there. I would prefer my job. Yeah. I understand that. All right. Ready? Well, I think we're probably all going to fight over your read. What? I'm just saying. So you have embracing, and then just like Edith, you had 2 cards fall out in the middle, which are change and stand still. Now, before you, like, those seem like they're opposites, and before you're like, wait, no, stand still, just hang on. And then the last one literally is relaxation. I have a feeling seeing that stand still card, you kind of went, what the fuck, wait, I'm manifesting like this and this. So when we're manifesting something, when we're manifesting change, when we're manifesting moving forward in a major way, bringing humongous things in, we have to start by embracing who it is that we want to become. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but there is a guy who was talking about when him and his wife first got married, and they had been married like 20 something years. When they first got married, they started looking at houses. And one of the first things that they did was go look at mansions, like houses that were so far out of their price range. But they went and looked at them anyway. And he said they looked around and they were just kind of trying to decide like what they did really want in a house and what they didn't want in a house and so on. And their main goal in looking at these massive mansions was not so much how much money do I have to make to live here, but instead it was, who do I have to be to live here? Who do I have to be to own a house like this? So they started embracing who those people were. Who did they want to become? And when you're manifesting something different, say I'm manifesting a new job, I'm manifesting a promotion, I'm manifesting this, manifesting that, you have to become that person. So let's say that you're manifesting a promotion, and not just like a little quarter raise. You're manifesting like a massive raise, a leadership position, a big office. Like you're manifesting those things, okay? You're manifesting something big. You have to already become that person. You have to start embracing who that person is. What does that person wear every day to work? What does that person eat? What does that person, how do they walk? I mean, do you see what I mean? You have to start changing all of those things about yourself and become that person. When you start becoming that person, this is what's going to happen. That change is going to be almost drastic in who you are. And that in turn is going to put things around you at a standstill. Have you ever seen the movies where the guy jumps forward in time and like suddenly all of his memories have to catch up with him at once? Like he's good for 3 or 4 days. He has this massive change, and then all of those memories come rushing in and he has to process them, and it takes him a while to process the memories. That's exactly that's the concept of what I'm talking about here. You embrace who it is that you need to be, and it rushes you forward. And then you get stuck at a standstill, so everything else around you can catch up. You have already made the leap up here, but everything else has to catch up. When you hit that standstill, Heather, that's the time for this. you can kind of relax a little bit. Don't go lax, but you can relax. You can kind of chill out, take a little bit of a break. Does that make sense? I have a feeling that this message right here is all about the one little piece that you've been missing in your manifestation and why things aren't coming as fast as they're supposed to come. I almost said really and literally at the same time. It started to come out. You need to, we're just going to go a different word, completely different word. You need to embrace the Heather that you want to be. Who is the Heather you want to be? That's the missing piece. And like I said, it's going to rock you forward, and then there's going to be a standstill. But I also want you to notice this. There's a lot of birds here. 2 big, powerful birds. There's a crane and a pelican. Did that make sense? Oh, I looked up just as I was asking the question. You said, yep, makes sense. Good. Good, I'm glad. That makes me happy. All right, Jennifer S. I'm kind of going down my list, but I'm also having to make sure that because some of you guys have tickets for, thank you, Christine. Some of you guys have tickets for tonight. Some of you have tickets for tomorrow. That way I'm not killing myself and y'all aren't waiting up forever. I saw it down there too. Okay. All right. Damn, I don't know what you've been manifesting, but ready? Like the best read ever. You ready? Happiness, wisdom, fulfillment with security on top of it. Or security with wisdom underneath. So let me say that these right here are on the way, and this right here is already here. You just don't realize it. This is 100% going to be the pot calling the kettle black, okay? Because I go through phases, and I'm just going to explain it from my experience because I think it's going to help you see this happiness. I go through phases where I'm striving to move forward so freaking fast that I forget to look around and see how amazing things are around me. I get too caught up in trying to do this and be this and be that, and I get too caught up in it. And I think, God, why is this not happening? Like, nothing is moving forward. This is stupid. Like, why can't I get this stuff done? And then something happens to make me stop and look and think. So the other day and I talked about this a couple weeks ago, like I was considering what to do with the shop and so on. And I went outside for something, and I just stood there and looked at the front of my building for a little while. Like, I just stood there and looked at the front of my building for a little while. And I thought how proud I was of it. Like, just looking at it, how proud I was of it. And it hit me. I already had all of the things I'd been manifesting. I had every single one of them. I was forgetting this. Me, not the universe. The universe had brought me every single thing that I had literally asked for. But I was not allowing myself to be happy. When we take the time to stop and allow ourselves to be happy, we get this really interesting innate wisdom from it. Now, I know that as I'm reading this, you're probably going, well, I've been manifesting like money and financial security. And I don't have that, so I can't really be happy about that. You can, though. Because I guarantee if you look around, you're going to see certain things that the universe has brought to you, manifestations that have been coming your way that you need to be happy about. And when you start seeing those manifestations and you start seeing why you should be happy, you start gaining this wisdom about your life and your path and all the serendipities in it. That in turn brings this interesting sense of fulfillment. It may not even be because you've gotten everything. It may not be because you're where you want to be. But being happy with the things that the universe has already brought to you and giving some thanks back for it. One of my favorite things to do when things are going good for me is to tip really well. And I know that sounds stupid, but I don't mean just like 20%. I mean like 50%. Because a long time ago, everybody says bless you, okay? A long time ago,
Thanks.
when I was bartending, and I'm talking like 24 years ago, 23 years ago, when I was bartending, I got an amazing spot right off the bat. But when someone would come in, say I was having a bad day, and someone came in and they tipped really well, especially at the beginning of the night, that set the tone for the rest of the day. If someone came in and say their tab was $10 and they tipped me $20, because that had happened a few times, it just made the whole day better. Do you see what I'm saying? So when things are going really good for me, my way of giving back and my way of acknowledging to the universe, thank you, I see you, let me, give back or whatever, is to tip extremely well. And so that's my way of giving back. I'm not saying that that's the way that's right for everybody, but I'm saying when you realize that the universe has been bringing you the things and that maybe you just need to give some stuff back, and then you start actually giving the things back, it's really super mega fulfilling to do that. Mega fulfilling to do that. And that in turn shows the universe that you are happy. You're acknowledging, you see what I'm saying? You're acknowledging things are coming in, and that brings the security. So, Jennifer, what I'm going to say is this. Look around and find the things and the places where happiness already exists in your life. Unfortunately, as Americans, we're taught to not be fulfilled with anything. We're taught to always want instant mashed potatoes. You know what I mean? We're taught to always want everything right then. We don't realize that nothing good ever comes quick. Nothing good ever comes for free. You have to fucking work at it. You also have to give thanks to the universe, to God, to whoever it is that you believe in, and show them that you see what they're doing for you and you appreciate it. You know what I mean? I hope that made sense, Jennifer. All right, Jennifer M. See if this is still downloading. I hope so. Oh, it just says processing. Because I want to see that damn door. So if you guys are ever in Augusta, Georgia, The Partridge is really, really a cool place. It's really a cool place. The views are phenomenal. It's worth a little bit of extra money to treat yourself. It's not a crazy amount more than most of the other hotels around here, just saying. Also, it was weird to me. This is why Sass got me a patch for my Whoopee that says "little bit bougie." The valet is cheaper here than other places. Just saying. Anyway, Jennifer M, this is yours, love. Okay. So you start off with flow, then you have new beginnings, then you have going forward, and then you have diligence. All right. Miss Jennifer, I don't feel like you're at a standstill, okay? I feel like you're moving forward, but at a very slow pace. Like the super slow, lazy river, just floating along in the dark, yawning when you shouldn't be yawning. One of the things about just kind of flowing along is that we get the chance to watch other things pass us by. And I want you to think about it this way, okay? Because when I said that, every one of you went, I don't want them to pass me by. Like, that's stupid. It isn't stupid. When things pass you by, it's because they weren't for you. And I know y'all just heard your grandma's voice in your head say that. I want you to think about it this way. This chair is weird. I'm trying to set my arms on it and be like this. I want you to think about it this way. Every single one of you had someone in grade school, in junior high, in high school, whatever, that you pined after that person. You pined after that person. Like, you begged and pleaded to the universe to bring that person to you. And then, you move on, you meet somebody else, you're out of school, whatever. And you realize that you really didn't like that person after all. For those of you guys that have been dating for a while or whatever, I'm sure there has been somebody you went out with for a little bit. Maybe you went out a date or two and they seemed so fucking cool. Like you really wanted to be around them. You couldn't wait or whatever. You couldn't wait to see them. And then they just ghosted you, or you ghosted them, or something happened or whatever. And then a little bit later they come back into your life and you're like, oh my God, I'm finally getting to go out with this person again. And you go and you're sitting in front of them, you're like, why did I think this person was cool? Why did I want... Do you see what I'm saying? When you let things pass you by, it sucks. It sucks. Okay? It sucks. Watching things pass you by sucks. But as things pass you by, I want you to realize it's because they weren't for you. That's a hard realization to come to. And that's when I'm kind of spending a little time on it. Because I want you to really, really think about it, Jennifer. It sucks, and it's a really, really hard revelation to come to. When you do come to that realization, that revelation, that epiphany, that smack in the third eye, that's when this starts. And this is the new beginnings card. Because when you have that realization that all of these things that you are manifesting are passing you by. They're hitting someone else. They're passing you by. You can start to look at them, and here's exactly how I want you to look at them. I want you to think, why? Why did Bob get that job instead of me? Why did Susan get that promotion instead of me? Is it because, she's got, maybe she's got a bachelor's degree and you have an associate's, or maybe she's been with the company 10 years, you've been there 2. Do you see what I'm saying? And then I want you to just kind of look around and see, especially with a job, this is really easy because it looks so great when someone gets a new office. It looks so great when someone, they get a new parking space, or they're important, or they get a new name tag or whatever. But how much extra work are they doing now? How much shit do they have to deal with now? Especially if they just got moved up to middle management. How many more reports do they have to do every week? How much overtime are they working now without getting paid for it? Do you see what I'm saying? Every move up comes with so much other shit. So much other shit. But that's where this comes in, is this new beginning. The reason I gave the dating example is because all of you guys that have been out of high school for a little bit, you have seen that cool guy, that cool girl, the one that everybody wanted to date and be their friend and so on. You have seen them a few years after high school and went, ooh. You have seen that person that you pined after years later and went, ooh, like the universe beat the fuck out of you. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how I want you to look at it when you're manifesting something and it rockets past you and hits somebody else. It wasn't for you. Something else is. So when this new beginning pops up, the fact that the new beginnings and then the going forward card popped up, this is not a nice, calm, little lazy float down the river. This right here is a hold on to your ass. You're probably going to go through the rapids, maybe get dunked under the water a few times. This is not a nice, calm, peaceful little, let's go for a joyride. This right here, I would say hold on to your pants, put some rubber pants on, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just saying what I'm saying. This right here is the key, though. This is the diligence card. This is awesome and terrifying and exhausting and overwhelming. But this is the diligence card. When you hit this, you have to be ready to stay on that ride. You can't just say, you know what? Pause, stop the canoe. I want to get the fuck out. Stop the raft. I'm not riding down these rapids anymore. I'm done. Because if you get off the rapids, you're off the rapids. You're off the rapids. You just told the universe that you wanted all of this stuff. And when you got it, you got a little taste of it and said, no, I don't want it anymore. So the universe turns it off. And turning it back on is hard. So you have to be diligent and be ready to sit and ride those fucking rapids however far they go. Okay? Just saying. Let's see here. Miss Jolene, you are next, love. Thank you for that. I love that Sylvie just put, it's always darkest before the storm, but the sun does come out. She's right, 100% right. But I want you guys to realize that that darkness comes in different forms. Just saying. That darkness comes in different forms. Everybody's darkness is different. My darkness is not your darkness. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Ready, Miss Jolene? Okay. Well, if you've been asking for the sign of what do I do, where do I go, what's the answer, where's the fence post, well, here it is. You ready? Because this is like a very cut and dried, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. So, you have the potential card. I'm going to go through them one at a time because, just saying. Right now, you know that you are on the precipice of change. You're on the precipice of something. You have no idea what it is. You can feel that the energy is there, but you don't know why it's not coming like it used to. Whereas before, when you were younger, you could just grab it and go. This time, it's just like right there, right out of your vision. Like, you know, if you look sideways, you can kind of see the shadow a little bit, but it's always right back there. Like you can't really grab it. So this is kind of where you are right now in this moment. You've been asking the universe, you know, what is it that I'm supposed to do? What am I not seeing? What am I not figuring out? What do I need to know? How am I moving forward? And that is probably because you've tried every fucking thing. You've tried all of the things everybody's been telling you to do. You've tried this way of manifesting and that way of manifesting and doing this and doing that. Am I right? Here's what you need to do. This is the simplicity card. Strip down everything you've been doing. Start with the spiritual stuff because, to be honest, that's the easiest. Strip down all of the brand new, big, crazy, awesome things that you've been doing back to the basics. Back to the basics. And if the basics for you were reading a passage out of your grandpa or grandma's Bible every night or every week, then that is what you need to do. If your basics were taking your mala and once a week doing a full long hour Buddhist meditation, then that's exactly what you should do. If your basics were buying tumbles, a bag that you can't remember what they were, but you took them home and you cleansed them and then you put them here and here and here and here. If your basics were blowing cinnamon in your doorway, if your basics were making moon water and drinking it, if those were your basics, do that. Don't worry about all the newfangled things. Don't throw them away. Just set them aside for just a minute. Does that make sense? Get back to the foundations, the basics that you started your practice with. Because when you get back to the basics of those things, then you are going to find out really, really quickly that you're going to find out really, really quickly that everything else is going to fall in line too. As you're going back to those foundational aspects, you're going to also start to remember, oh man, I remember when I got that stone, and I remember how excited I was, and I remember when I learned how to do this, and I remember how excited I was, and I remember how everything was rushing forward. Do you know what I'm talking about? And then you start to remember why you were manifesting those things in the first place. And what rocketed you forward before you hit this kind of plateau aspect. When you simplify everything down, it's much easier to have this transformation. I mean, I want you to think about it. When you simplify everything down, just like a butterfly, a caterpillar will simplify everything down, make a cocoon, and then emerge from it. There's a reason that butterflies represent transformation, because they go through one of the biggest transformations of any type of animal, person, bug, anything at all. They go through the biggest, most vibrant transformation. But they simplify everything down first. It sucks to simplify shit down, especially when you've gotten so used to having so much. This is the trust card. And it came after the transformation card. Trust that the transformation is exactly what it's supposed to be, and trust that simplifying everything down is going to show you where the transformation is, and trust that in simplifying everything down, that all that potential is going to open straight up for you. You're going to see a lot of people that, especially because it's getting to spooky season, and then it's holiday season, and you know, so on. Y'all are going to see a lot of people that are going to tell you, oh no, you have to buy this journal, you have to buy this crystal, you have to buy these things or whatever. You don't though. When you first started out, the things that were the foundations of all of this cool stuff that you wanted to do, a lot of that didn't cost you very much at all, because you were just starting out. You didn't really know what to get. Simplicity is key in transforming. Does that make sense, Jolene? Just simplify everything down. Push all of the fancy shit to the side and just simplify everything down. Thank you, Sarah. All right, Miss Karen is tomorrow. Miss Kathy is tonight. I love when I'm doing reads like this and I see people pop up and say, oh my God, I needed to hear that really bad. I would say 100%. I would say 100%, Jolene. Don't be in a rush. Thank you, Whisper. Yeah, don't be in a rush right now. For multiple reasons. Just saying what I'm saying. All right, Miss Kathy, you ready? Kathy M. How is Anthony doing? I saw that he was doing a little better. I will. He is already completely passed out for the night because it's 11 o'clock here. So yeah, he's take off my shoes. I haven't had my shoes off all day and it feels so good. Yeah, it's been a long day. He's adjusting good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Aw, I just now happen to look down at all these cards. Ready? So you start off with love and then abundance, and notice that both of these are covered in flowers. This is exactly where you are right now. Because I know anytime we have someone in our family that, oh, I love that, Nikki. anytime we have someone in our family that we care about, or friend, whatever, that has been having a really, really rough time, that's been sick, that's been down, that's lost their job, anything like that. When they get better, when they get a job, when they get back on their feet, especially if you have somebody that's been sick, that feeling of seeing them better, of seeing them, maybe COVID's been hitting everybody and their dog hard as fuck. Seeing somebody be super, super sick, and then when seeing them better, so sick that you're worried how much longer they might be here. And then the next thing you see them doing, they're out of the hospital and they're playing golf or whatever. I don't know where that came from, but because my kid's watching golf on TV, or has it on TV. I was like, why am I thinking about golf? Because I'm watching it in the reflection. When we see someone go from really, really sick to so much better, the mushy amount of love that comes out of us, we're just like, oh my God, like we just get all super squishy, mushy, gross about it, because you didn't realize how worried you were about that person until they're better. And the thing about coming from a spot of overabundance of love is that oozes out. Just like hate oozes out, love oozes out. So if you are a hateful little rock of a person, no one's going to want to be around you. That hateful little shit is going to attract other hateful little shits. If you're somebody that's really, really loving and you're overflowing with it, you're going to attract other people like that, because it gives you an abundance of that type of energy. You needed this reminder to remember how abundant that already is in you. People that have a lot of light energy like that, flowers represent something very beautiful and something very fragile at the same time. People that have a lot of that type of energy, it's very fragile, because they can also get bogged down with just how shitty the fucking world is. And when you get bogged down with how shitty the fucking world is, your flowers kind of wilt a little bit. So it's almost like you have to kind of prune the flowers so they can grow again. Because when you have somebody, and I'm using somebody being ill because I know that Kathy's had one of her kiddos not feeling really good. But every single one of you understands this, because you've all had someone very close to you be ill, super, super ill. And maybe they aren't here anymore, and maybe they got better and they are here. But every time you go through something like that, and you realize that if you don't have that, if you're not healthy, it doesn't matter. Nothing else fucking matters. It doesn't matter if you have enough money, because if you're not healthy enough to use it, you aren't going on that trip. You aren't going to London. You aren't going to South Africa, wherever. If you're not healthy, does it really matter what's going on across the world? If you're not healthy, does it really matter what kind of shoes you're wearing? Do you see what I'm saying? Everything changes. Everything changes. So now you're back to this abundance of energy, which is now ready to move you forward again for some amazing new beginnings. I'm just saying. That makes sense, Miss Kathy Pooh. Miss Katie is tomorrow. Miss Kimberly is tomorrow. Miss Monica is today. You are so welcome. Namaste. Thank you for that. Ha! Okay, fine. It's that one right there. And that one. Okay. I mean, 8's a good number. 8 is infinity. Just saying. All right, Miss Monica. 2 of them wanted to fling out. So we're going to talk about these first, and I'm going to leave these turned over. Okay? These are the 2 that literally jumped out of the fucking deck. And apparently these right here are 2 things that either you've been ignoring or you haven't... You don't real one I think you've been ignoring, and the other let's just talk. So Miss Monica, this is the first one that popped up, and this is the leadership card. If I remember right, as I yawn, haven't I pulled this card for you before? Haven't I pulled this specific card for you before? I could be wrong, but I feel like this has come up. This literally flung out of the deck. There is some leadership aspect career-wise that you aren't... I don't know if you've been offered a promotion a few times. I don't know if you've been... My kid just crawled on the floor. I just wanted you to know that.
It's wet.
Why is it wet?
It's Georgia.
Touche. Miss Monica, I don't know if this is something that's been... Thank you, Miss Whisper. If this is something that you've been toying with the idea of, or maybe you've just decided that it's not for you and you keep putting them off or whatever. Y'all, I gotta tell you something. I can't help it. I gotta tell you something. Now, let me preempt this with, when I was in basic training, it was in Alabama. I do love Alabama, okay? I actually have yet to be in a state that I didn't love, really. There are parts of every state that are better than others, and there are parts of every state that I've been to that I don't care to go back to. The Mojave Desert, been there, done that, seen it. I don't need to go back. I probably will, because I have to go through there to get certain places. But so I want to preempt that with that, okay? So we're on our way here. It made me do the little verification thing twice. We're on our way here, right? My kid is asleep in the back, and me and Allie are talking. And my kid wakes up and sees that we're in a city. My kid goes, "Where are we?" And I said, "Birmingham." Very slowly, my kid goes, "God damn it." And I almost fell out of the car. Because it was the funniest fucking thing. It was the funniest response at the funniest time. Super appropriate. And I feel like it wouldn't have mattered what city we were in. That would have cracked me up. It was hilarious. And it's still funny. Like, I don't think it would have mattered what I would have said in that moment. If I'd have said Atlanta, if I'd have said Augusta, if I'd have said South Carolina, if I'd have said Arkansas, if I'd have said Memphis, it doesn't matter. My kid going, "God damn it," was just, it was great. It was so damn funny. I wish I had it on video. I would have 100%, I would have 100% thrown that bitch up. It was great. It was funny. All right. She is funny without even trying to be funny. And yeah, she's had me the last 2 nights in the hotel by Fort Jackson. She's had me laughing so hard that I've started coughing because I couldn't fucking breathe. Like, it just, yeah. She's ridiculous. She's 100% ridiculous. And it's great. All right, Miss Monica. You've been ignoring this leadership position. You've been ignoring stepping forward in something career-wise. Like, the universe is giving you these signs like, hey, you better take it. I'm handing it to you. You better take it. I'm handing it to you. Here, dude, here. I thought she was behind me. She's not. Here. You don't have to crawl. She just walked up to me and was like, just staring at me. Go stare over there. We have a whole balcony for you to stare at random people on. Go stare over there. Go on, go stare over there. All right, Miss Monica. Anyway, I'm not going to harp on it because obviously the universe is telling you over and over and over that you have got to quit ignoring it. You've got to quit ignoring it. The second one that came out is this. This is the protection card. Granny says you're not eating your vegetables, Charlie. By the way, that's really rude.
Who's rude?
You are super mega protected, Charlie. Just saying. Maybe not by Granny, but maybe by, things keeping you cut off from talking to Granny. Just saying what I'm saying. Okay, anyway, Miss Monica. When it comes to this leadership position right here, you're super protected with it. You keep not taking it either because there's some fear in you or some worry that you're not good enough, that you can't do the job, whatever. Honey, you're really, really protected when it comes to stepping out into this leadership role. And like I say all the time, use it or lose it. The universe is either going to shove you into this and you're going to flail about and panic because you're not ready, or you can step into it and it can be an amazing thing because you're already protected with it. Okay? Now we're going to turn this over. So two separate things. That one right there was the universe going, do it. This is different. This is for the Lion's Gate. This is for the portal, okay? This is the release card. I love you. Just say that, Miss Monica. I love you. Monica's someone that I've met with like on Zoom in person. I know, okay, from anxiety-ridden person to fellow anxiety-ridden person. Letting go of shit is the hardest fucking thing to do. Whether it is the idea that someone that you love eventually 50 years down the road could possibly get hurt when you're not around, or whether it's the fact that you have 90 boxes of the same type of stone in your house and probably it's time to get rid of some of those things because they're in fucking boxes. Anxiety is stupid. And getting rid of things is stupid, but it has to happen. I am in the same boat right now, realizing I have so much shit. I lost so much shit, and so then I bought more shit. And now I have too much shit. Release the shit, Miss Monica. That is what this Lionsgate portal is all about. That also has to do with this, because this leadership position and being protected, you need to release that fear of taking that leadership position. Release the stupid fear, release the stupid shit, clean out your house, throw shit away, whatever the release is. It's obviously something that's been popping up. I don't think that this is the first time that this has come across your radar. I wouldn't be surprised if you've popped into other lives and heard people saying, hey, you need to let go of that shit. And you were like, I really do, but I'm not gonna. Yes, you are. You need to. I'm just telling you. Yes, you are. Release it. Let it go, because this is the delight card. Letting go of physical things are really funny. When you gain a lot of physical things and then you let go of those physical things, it's awesome. It's awesome for multiple reasons. Maybe you gave that thing to somebody else that's been asking for it. They really loved that stone, and the next time they came over to your house, you went, well, here, why don't you just, I'm going to give it to you. And then watching the delight on their face. Or maybe you went and gifted a whole bunch of clothes to somebody that really needed them. Or, do you see what I'm saying? Gifting stuff, getting rid of stuff is fantastic. Getting rid of things that you've been holding in here, fantastic. Just saying what I'm saying, Miss Monica. Getting rid of anxiety about taking this leadership position because it keeps coming up is fantastic, because you're super protected and you should just take it. Just saying what I'm saying, Miss Monica. It's not me. I'm just reading the cards. So for those of you guys that are just joining, my list for tonight is full, but I will be doing these same reads tomorrow evening. And then on Saturday, I will be doing some astrology readings. Well, you can book a full reading with me. All right, Miss Nancy Smith, are you ready? Yes. Interesting colors in this. The first thing I noticed was the sky and 3 of these 4 cards. You'll see it, okay? So, this is the flow card. Then you have healing chaos. Then you have opportunity. And then you have security. Notice the sky. Oh, wow, that actually lines up. Notice the purple sky and a lot of these. Do you notice that? Because I did. I noticed it. Purple's a really interesting color, because every color, depending on the shade, has a different connotation for what that color means. With purple, it's a very royal color, it's a very spiritual color, it's a very nostalgic color. Those are the 3 big things that purple represents. The lighter the purple, the more nostalgic it means. The darker the purple, the more royal, the more spiritual it means. The royal is kind of that bright in the middle purple. I want you to notice the sky around this flow card. I want you to notice how it's really light purple in here and it goes to almost a black out here at the edges. You see that? It does it on both sides. Right now you're in a phase where you're just going along with the flow and you're looking at all these nostalgic aspects of yourself, of your life, of your practice, of your family, of like all the things. Just looking at this very, very nostalgic aspect to life. And you're pushing away all of these spiritual practices, all of the royal aspects. See how, the nostalgic is so bright that you can't move past it. And I have a feeling because of this healing chaos card right here, that it's been popping up because there's something that's triggered that has to be fixed. It's been a while since I've talked about shadow work and so on. I would not be surprised to know that in the last few days up to today, the Lion's Gate, that things keep popping up that have to do with this trigger. And I use myself as an example a lot because it's easy for me to say, here's an example, okay? So here's an example. So after being married to a couple of different people who were yellers, who wanted to yell all the fucking time. And to be honest, when I was younger, I used to yell as well. But having someone yell at you continually all day, every day, it got to the point where anytime someone raised their voice, I was out. I don't want to be there. So I had a problem watching movies. And it didn't matter if they were, let's just say they were all yelling about good shit, fun shit, amazing shit. If something good happened and someone started yelling, I was out. I didn't want to be in the room. I don't care. And I would almost panic of people being loud, like shh, shh. Everything had to be quiet. I needed perfect quiet all the time, perfect quiet. Because that was a trauma response. And so my way of fixing that at first was for it to just, I need it quiet. I need it quiet. So we go through these phases of shadow work where we have to deal with something. So I dealt with that because I was like, okay, this isn't healthy. Like it got so bad that I needed it so fucking quiet that I could hear my blood in my ears quiet. And that's not a healthy response, okay? Like every now and then, but not all the time. Not a healthy response. So I started figuring out, like, what is it that's making me feel this way? What is the trigger that's making me completely run the other way? So I started working on that shadow aspect. And I thought, you know what? I'm good. I can watch movies now. I can watch shows, blah, blah, blah. Well, it started to come up again. And then again. And I had to sit and go back through this healing chaos aspect because I had to figure out, why the fuck is this coming up again? Like, I thought I fixed that. Why is it coming up again? Because every single injury that we get to ourself, to our soul, to our psyche, to our spirituality, whatever, it's like those wounds that they hurt real bad, and then they start to heal up a little bit, and then we realize that, oh, well, that bone didn't set right, so we have to go in and fix it. So you then maybe have to go in and like have surgery, or you have to go in and have a bone replaced. You see what I'm saying? It's I'm just gonna keep fucking with my hair today. I'm just letting you know. Miss Nancy, this is something that's coming back up because there's something else chaotic, triggery, etc. that you still have to deal with shadow work wise for whatever it is that you've been super nostalgic about lately, that you can't get enough of, even if it's a candy, a song, something like that. Why? I want you to start looking at why that's a trigger again. I don't feel like this is like, oh, you have to do 9 years of shadow work. I don't feel like it's that. That's fucking stupid. But I do feel like it's something that's really hardcore triggering this nostalgic aspect in you. This trigger and whatever this is also an opportunity. It's 100% an opportunity. And I want you to notice all the colors in the sky there. And I want you to notice all the colors in the sky there. Not me yawning behind the card. This shadow work, and like I said, I don't feel like it's some big, humongous thing. I actually feel like it's going to be a pretty quick revelation whenever you decide, okay, let me look at what is it that's been really, really triggering me lately. And then literally just ask yourself the question, why? Why? Okay? Why? When you have that why, you're going to see an opportunity. An opportunity that you've missed, an opportunity that you've been just looking over. And it's going to show you where you've been really secure in a lot of things up to this point. Because sometimes we allow our defense mechanisms to come out so much that we forget how far we've actually come with stuff. Does that make sense? This Lionsgate portal, I would imagine that the last week has been real intense for you. And to be honest, I'm going to say that probably this next week is going to be really intense as well. The Lionsgate is like 2 full weeks long. We always know the 8/8 because that's the middle of it, but it's like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So, this is a huge opportunity, a huge amount of security in dealing with this. It's almost like residual little tiny wounds that haven't closed up yet that you've got to deal with. Okay? I would 100% deal with that. You're not the same person that you were in grade school. You know some things and some stuff. You know how to put a motherfucker in a jar. I'm just saying. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense, Miss Nancy? This is the Sacred Destiny Oracle by Denise Lynn. I've had this particular deck since 2020. I don't know if they make this one anymore, but I'm sure you could probably find it. Yeah, I'm sure you could probably find it. I know that hearing that shadow work and all of that is what's the Lionsgate bringing, what the Lionsgate is bringing in is not like the best thing that someone wants to hear. But to be honest, that's kind of one of the easier things to deal with, whether you realize it or not. Doesn't mean it's easy, as in going through some of those emotions and some of those aspects and things, but knowing, okay, I know exactly what's been triggering me lately, you know? And then having the self-discipline to close up all those wounds again and to see where all the little damage was around it and closing those all up. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? The one thing about shadow work too, and all of you guys need to know this, okay? Not just Nancy. All you guys need to know this. Shadow work is something that doesn't stop. It doesn't. Once you start doing it, it's a never-ending thing. It's just like a spiritual awakening. Once you're on that ride, you don't get off. You don't get to get off of it. And you're going to continue to have all kinds of crazy revelations about yourself and your life and so on. If you're not having those things, make yourself do some shadow work. Okay? Because you should be doing those things. You should be doing those things. You should have a moment when you're sitting in traffic, drinking your coffee and go, oh my God, and have like that crazy revelation, something super deep about your life. Something like, here's one I had recently. You ready? Because this one's going to blow your minds. So, and then Miss Nikki Norton, you're next. I have been married to 2 cancers. I've been engaged to a cancer. I gravitate toward cancers, like friends and relationships, okay? I have a problem. What the fuck? Well, I had gotten to the point where I was like, you know what? If I am talking to somebody and I'm thinking about dating them and I find out that they're a cancer, nope. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want you around. And I literally was sitting in traffic waiting to go. Oh, I was actually going to meet my daughter-in-law to get our nails done. And I had this revelation that the reason I'm drawn to cancers is because my mom was a cancer and I never got all of the mother-daughter interaction and love from her that I wanted. My sister got it. I didn't get it. So I had that, like, I was sitting there drinking some tea, and I had that, like, you know, your eyes get big all of a sudden and you go, oh my God. So I've been trying to find cancers to please ever since, and I'm done. My sister's sign, Aquarius.
That's why you freaking hate Aquariuses.
I don't hate Aquariuses.
How much you hate Aquarius.
I don't hate Aquariuses.
You're always
I don't hate Aquariuses.
You hate Aquariuses.
What? No, I don't.
Yeah.
I hate cancer dudes. No offense to cancer dudes. I don't hate cancer dudes. I just don't need to date a cancer dude.
And Aquarius women. You hate them.
There's a difference in disliking your sister and disliking all Aquariuses.
You dislike your sister?
Wow, do you hear this shit? Okay, all right.
I hope she wasn't watching.
Christine said she told on you. My feelings are hurt. My sister does not watch my lives.
I'm going to tell her to hop on right now because
She doesn't have TikTok.
Because you're spilling secrets. Well, she has time to download it.
I'm going to turn the camera and let everybody see her. She's over there, like, all right, Miss Nikki, please save me from my child. I'm just saying.
Nikki.
You know, I was actually thinking, is there a sign that I dislike a lot of people in?
I know that one, Cancer.
Well, that's only because I've been married to 2, and I keep I gravitate toward them, trying to get that approval because I never got it. But I don't know. I've had some really gnarly interactions with some Scorpios, but I love me some Scorpios, so I don't know.
I feel like all the Cancers I know are completely different people. What's like the defining trait of Cancer men? I know so many Cancer men, and none of them are the same person.
I mean, you could say that about any Gemini, any Aquarius, any Capricorn. Like, you could say that about anybody. Like, I know a ton of Leos, and y'all are all different. Well, I don't know. Most of y'all are the same. You Leos pretty much mostly are the same.
I'm a vibrant lion, and you're jealous.
And that's exactly how Leos are. Right there. That is the drama. Right there. Did you hear what she said? That is the drama.
I'm vivacious.
Yeah, that is the drama. She's a vibrant lion.
I'm vivacious and bodacious, and you're jealous of me.
I love you. What is that? You got?
It's mine.
All right, Nikki. So you had 2 cards come out front. We're just gonna move on. We're just gonna move on. Because I'm sure she's gonna interject.
No. Sorry.
Oh my God. All right. Miss Nikki. So you had 2 come out like this together. So the one on the top is Voyage and the one on the bottom is Action. Now, don't get nervous because one is nice and calm and one is a wave, whatever. These 2 are super self-explanatory and gonna be kind of hard to hear, I have a feeling. Neither one of these cards are let's sit still. Neither one of these cards are being frozen. Neither one of these cards are being in the same place. Whatever movement you are considering, whether it's literally moving, whether it's changing jobs, whether it's starting something new, whether it's ending, whatever the movement is, Nikki, it has to happen. Like it has to happen in a very big way. If you were considering moving jobs, I would say that this is probably the sign to start looking for a new job. If you were considering moving, like physically moving, I would say that this is probably the time to start looking for a new place. Whatever it is, but this is a big move. This is not let's stay in the same place for the next 2 years. Do you see what I'm saying? But the thing is, I know that any kind of movement, any kind of big movement is stressful. Any kind of big movement, even just considering, let's just talk about just moving, period, moving houses, okay? It's not like you just go, ooh, that's a great place. Let me move over there. And you go in, you pick up one box, you take it over, and everything is put in its place. If that was how moving went, everybody would move all the time. That is not how moving goes. Moving is like one of the most stressful fucking things that there ever was and is and will be. But it's also one of the most exciting things too. If you are considering moving to a different place, even if it's just in the city you live in, you have to figure out what side of town you want to live on, why you would or wouldn't want to live there. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just, there's a lot that goes into even just the idea of making the decision to move. And I saw that someone said, and I don't know if that's you there, Nikki, that you've been considering a big change, but you don't know where to start. This would be the Simplicity card. If you've been really ready for this action, okay, good. Ready for this action, ready for this change, ready for the movement, but you don't know where to start with little bitty things. Do you know why it's so freeing and so exciting to get a new haircut? Because that is one of the easiest things to change about yourself. Now, I am not recommending to go and cut your hair from like your waist to your chin. I'm recommending maybe like a couple of layers. I'm recommending maybe, trimming the ends a little like that, okay? Like little bit. Don't do something drastic. But changing your hair just a little tiny bit gives you a huge confidence boost. Gives you that catalyst of continuing the change. Changing your makeup. I change my eyeshadow a lot. I just started doing the brown again. I usually don't do the brown till fall, but my kid saw the palette I was using and was like, hey, I really like that kind of brown and that maroon. Why don't you use that? And I did. And now I was like, oh, I remember why I like that. Changing something little bitty about yourself physically And when you look in the mirror, you see a different face, you see a different person. That is a major catalyst for change. It's something so small. Like you literally can, go and get a trim, get a couple layers put in, whatever. Like I said, I'm not recommending chopping it all off. I'm not recommending okay, so just a little one, okay? But seeing a huge physical change in yourself will make a massive change possible. Also, this last card is interesting. It kind of has to do with this and it kind of doesn't at the same time. So let's have a talk, okay? Because this is the love card. And for there to be the love card after the simplicity, and we've been talking about this big change and so on, this change, the massive part of the change, has to do with something that you absolutely love and you need to embrace it more. Whether this is a side gig, whether this is a creative outlet, whether this is a hobby, whatever it is, there's something you do that you just fucking love, that you're addicted to, and you don't want to stop doing it. This right here is the sign to embrace it more. So I don't know what this thing is that you love to do so much. It's something constructive. Let me help you here. It's something constructive. It's a hobby. It's a creativity. It's an outlet. It's something that you could make money as a side gig, etc. with. Start leaning into that more. Got it. Okay. Make a little tiny change in you. Make a little teeny tiny change in you, and you're going to find that this stuff right here is going to come so quick and so easy. I'm just saying. There's a reason I color my hair every 2 weeks or more. Keeps me motivated. Because there are times when I'm just like, you know what? I don't have time to color my hair this week. I don't want to do it. I don't have time. And I'll let it go. And then I look at a video or something. And I'm like, damn, you let your hair go, bitch. And so I go in and recolor it. And it's just a jolt. It's something little bitty. It's just literally just touching up the color of my hair. But it makes such a big difference. Does that make sense? So, Nikki, find something that's a little bitty change, but a big change at the same time. Something really small, really simple, that's a big change. That right there will motivate you because you're going to look in the mirror and see the difference. You're going to see, okay, I've already changed physically, so let's change the rest. I promise. It sounds stupid and it sounds little and it sounds easy, but I promise. Okay? All right. Miss Sally, you're next. Cards flinging everywhere. You are so welcome, Nikki, honey. And you know you're going to have to pop in and tell us what the change was, because now everybody wants to know. Everybody going to go cut their hair tomorrow now. Like I said, go small. You can always go big later, but go small first. This card just keeps coming up, and it's funny at this point. It is hard to step out of comfort zones. All right, ready? I love that. I just saw, yeah, I'm not cutting my hair tomorrow. LOL. I'm not cutting mine either. So, I mean, just saying. All right, ready? Miss Sally, You start off with purity, purify. Then you have action. Then you have simplicity. Then you have voyage. It's been a while since I've had a card that just continually popped up. Well, it's also been a while since I've done some card reads, but actually I think I had a couple on the Zodiac video this last week that popped up like that. Anyway. Miss Sally, we gotta have a hard chat because I want you guys to notice the eyes of the wolf in this card. So one's purple and one's green. So the purple is the spiritual self. The green is the physical. And you didn't hear or see me yawn. You have a lot of things that have been piling on you that this last week has shown you don't need anymore. That you don't need anymore. You have a lot of things that have been popping up that I have a feeling a lot of it is people that revolve around situations. So this friend group or this friend group or this family group or this work situation. You have so many things and so many people that the universe has just been showing you their true colors. The universe has been showing you all of the truths about people around you. When it comes to people showing you their true colors, believe them. Believe them. If they act this way and then suddenly they act this way, but then they try to react this way again, who is that? Who is this? With Mercury retrograde aside, with the Saturn retrograde that's gone on and the Pluto retrograde that's gone on, people are happy to show you who they are. This has its good and its bad. People are happy to show you who they are, and you should 100% be your authentic self. Don't try to be something else. Don't try to be someone else, because you're going to be fucking miserable. So guess what? If you being your authentic self means that you act and ask to somebody that you hate, that you've been pretending to like at your job for a while, and you finally are like, you know what? I don't like you. I haven't liked you for a long time. Don't talk to me anymore. A, for you, that's going to be freeing. And B, for them, it's going to be freeing. It might hurt their feelings. I'm not saying to please go be a dick to people, okay? But they're going to realize, hey, I've been kissing that person's ass and they hate me. It may be the catalyst they need to ask for the promotion, to ask to be transferred, to find another job where they're supposed to be, or vice versa. If you cannot be your authentic self, you're going to be fucking miserable. So you need to purify a lot of these relationships around you. And like I said, I would start with the ones that the universe has been showing you needed to be cut off. It's not just one or two people that I've talked to that have had their friends and so on showing them their true colors. Y'all, it's a lot. It's a lot. Over half. The reason I said they needed to be cut off, they needed to be out of your life, is because of the action card. Simplifying, seeing where things have to be purified, allows you to start taking action to do those things. Literally. To simplify the things with this fucking card. But it's not just people that need to be purified and simplified and so on. Because when you start to purify things, it's funny. It's like when you start to purge one area of your life, like friends, family, situations, etc., and you really hardcore get into it, how many of you guys have ever started to, maybe you just were going to clean out your t-shirts, like you know what, I don't wear this t-shirt anymore, so let me get rid of it. And next thing you know, you have like a stack of like 10 t-shirts, several pairs of pants, a whole bunch of sweaters, and it just keeps growing. And then you're like, you know what, I have all that shit in the living room too that I could get rid of. And suddenly the next thing you know, you have a carload of stuff to take somewhere. It snowballs. When you start cleaning places, when you start purifying things, when you really start taking the action, simplifying your life becomes so much fucking easier all of a sudden. You are motivated to simplify and clear out shit and be done with it. That's exactly what needs to happen and where you're going to be over the next week, week and a half. People, physical things. People, physical things. Like, do you see what I'm saying? And that in turn leads to this. Because with this simplification and with purifying a whole bunch of toxic bullshit out of your life, that leads to a voyage. That leads to movement. That leads to being free to go somewhere else. I mean, notice in this card that even though the whale has the little baby underneath it, it's not taking the whole entire ocean with it. It's not taking the whole pod of whales with it. Do you see what I'm saying? When you simplify a lot of things down, when you purify a lot of things, you realize what has been leeching onto you for a long time and sucking you, your energy, your time, your money, whatever, dry. And it has been. Cut all those fucking things off. Okay? Cut all those fucking things off. Been retired for 2 years and hadn't had a friend for you. Well, what my suggestion is this. Just because of that right there, I would take a look at why. Start with the question of why. Look at all of the things in your life like that, because my reaction to that question is why. And not like, oh my God, why? Just why? I go through phases like that where I don't talk to anybody. Okay, let me back up. I used to. Because I used to worry that anything I said to someone else would say or whatever. So I just quit talking to people. You know what? Fuck it. I don't need friends. But we do. We do. Because you can't sit and have terrible jokes and not share them. I'm just saying, you can't see funny posts on shit and not share them. Gotta have friends. So my question is, why? You know? There's always me yawning. I saw your comment. That shouldn't matter. It really, really shouldn't. I know a lot of people that don't leave the house. I've gone through severe bouts of agoraphobia where I don't want to leave the house. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. Your weight shouldn't matter. You not being able to leave the house shouldn't matter. Shouldn't matter why you don't want to leave the house. It shouldn't matter if it's because you dyed your hair orange and you look like Carrot Top. It shouldn't matter if you have severe agoraphobia and you don't want to leave. I mean, because to be honest, some people suck. I have found some of the best friends that I have ever had in my life through fucking TikTok. I'm not gonna lie. Through fucking TikTok. Every one of my moderators is like a personal friend to me. These are people that they were followers. I helped them with something, and they have become like some of the best friends I have ever fucking had. I have friends, this is crazy to say this, and it's weird, but this is the world we live in. I have friends that I met on Facebook like in 2006, that I am still friends with now, that I have met in person, that I have known for years, that have met my kids, people bitch about social media, but they don't see the good aspects of social media. They don't see how connected everything is. I have always had a weird love for social media. Maybe not the people that run it, but I've always had a love for social media because it allows you to connect with people everywhere. It allows you to find other weird fuckers just like you everywhere. It allows you to sit and talk, and you know what I mean? I'm just saying. I would 100% find some online groups. I would 100% find some people that have the same interests you do. Now, I am going to say steer clear from the people that all they want is like the drama stuff. You can find all kinds of groups on all social media platforms that all they want to do is stupid drama shit. Please, 100% steer clear from that, because then your whole life is going to become about who said this about so-and-so and who's doing this and who's sleeping with who's what wife or whatever. Just don't. But find some there are some really, really, really cool witchy groups on Facebook, believe it or not. Some pagan groups on Facebook. You want to really learn how to play golf? Then learn how to play golf. Learn how to play golf. There's nothing stopping you. Learn how to play golf. There are tons of golf groups. How-tos, things like that. There are tons. That's exactly what I would recommend. That's exactly where this voyage is. And simplifying, purifying things out, taking some action. Just saying. Join some groups, because you're going to find people that are close to you that probably would have no problem helping you get somewhere. I'm just saying. One of the things I really, really love about the pagan community is that they are so willing to go help a fellow pagan. It's not even funny. They might dress up really fucking weird. They might show up to your house in some crazy getup in a crazy car, but they're so willing to help each other because they've never had that help from other people. And so they are so much more willing to go out of their way to help other people that identify as pagans, that it's fantastic. It doesn't mean there aren't shit ones. There are shit people in every walk of life, in every religion. But, yeah. All right. I would give it another shot. I would find some groups local to you. I would find some groups and make friends all over the world. I would give it another go. Miss Stephanie Graham, you're next. I had to get through my list so I can get some sleep. Got to get up and take the Brody and get him all registered tomorrow. What kind of tea you need, girl? Ooh, okay. Slinging some cards there. Of course, the Schumann is off the charts again. We had some weird solar flares again this morning and last night. I'm done with it. Just done with it. Just like, all right. Oh, gotcha. They should have everything they need to make that and bring it back, but I'll make sure they do. All right. Ready, Stephanie? Oof. Okay. So you have diligence and change. You are so welcome. And then purification. And then happiness. So we're going to start here with the diligence card. Girl, you have lost your willpower. And I 100% know how, no words. I 100% know how this feels. When you start something new, your willpower is like crazy high. Your diligence on doing that new thing is intense and it's awesome, right? However, we can lose our willpower really, really quickly. Especially if we get discouraged, if we get bored, if we get off track. Like, for me, I've had the same schedule Monday and Thursday for years, right? Well, this week on Monday, I wasn't on because my eye was swollen real bad. And I had been driving for however many hours, like 8 hours that day. I was exhausted. I was cranky. And I didn't get on. And it was weird. And I'm not going to lie, tonight when I went to get on, it made it feel really weird. You know what I mean? Made me feel really weird. So I have to be careful not to lose my willpower to keep that schedule because it's hard. I use that as an example because we all have stuff that we've done forever. And every now and then we're like, oh, I don't want to do this. Or something happens and we can't. And we have to make the time to do it. When you form a habit with something that you've been wanting to do, it takes 2 to 3 weeks for you doing it every single day to form a habit. It doesn't take that long for that habit to end, especially if it's just some change you're making. But you, for some reason, lately have lost your willpower of doing shit. You're going to have to force yourself to start doing the things again, because when we lose our willpower, we also kind of flatline on stuff because we lose our willpower here, and then it's easy to just say, well, I don't really want to do this either today, and then this, and then this, and it snowballs. And something in my throat. And it snowballs. And when it snowballs, we end up in this spiral of agoraphobia, of depression, of whatever. So what I'm going to recommend is this. Have a serious talk with yourself about, do you really want to keep doing that thing? Do you want to start that thing up again? And if not, why? And if you do, what is holding you back? And you're going to have to, in here and in here, make this change. There's going to be things that have to get moved, that have to get shifted. There's going to be things around your life that cannot be allowed to go the way they were going, which is where a lot of this purification comes in. But sometimes we start to form new habits by letting our willpower be just completely in the dirt. And so we form new habits because it's super easy. It's really hard. You know, say you start a new job and every single day you're there early. You love this job. Like you're going every single day. It's great. And then, you know, it starts to get kind of shitty because every job has its shitty aspects. And then you just decide one day that you don't want to go in. You don't want to go in. And you're just terrified of that decision the whole day. And then it gets easier and easier and easier to call in until suddenly you go to call in and they're like, that's okay, we don't need you anymore. And you don't know why, and you're floored, you know. It gets really easy to let go of all these other things. So you're going to have to make sure that you're purifying a lot of stuff in here and a lot of stuff in here when it comes to this willpower being in the dirt. The thing too that's really interesting, and this kind of goes back, I don't know how long you've been here. If you were listening to me talk, there were a couple reads where I spoke about getting back to your foundations, getting back to what got you into either your spiritual self or your job or whatever it is you're manifesting. When you look at those foundations and you start to see that maybe you haven't been taking care of the foundations like you should have, if that makes sense. When you clean those foundations off and you start, yes, you heard that, it gave you an idea of what to get back to. Good, because that's where this happiness card comes in. That's exactly where this happiness card comes in. I mean, notice the sunflower and the sun right there. When you simplify, purify things back down, it's just like when they're renovating a building. The outside has gotten so many layers of paint, and they patched this siding or patched the roof here or patched the wall or whatever. When they renovate something and they completely gut the room and they make it whole again, that's exactly what has to happen here. It has to start with the willpower of where you were going and why you were going there. And to figure that back out, you have to go back to those foundations. Does that make sense? I hope so. I hope that makes sense. Good, good, good. I was like, I hope that makes sense. Ooh, don't look at me yawn. Don't look at me yawn. Let's see. Who else do I have to do this evening? So I have Miss Suzanne and Miss Sylvie. Is Miss Sylvie still awake? Sylvie, I have you for 2. Why do I have you for 2? All right. Miss Suzanne, you ready? Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I have you down for 2. I don't know why. Do you want me to? I'll tell you what we'll do. Yeah, unless I'm just, thank you, Miss Lori. Oops, that is too many. I'd be happy to put you on my list for Saturday if you want. It's up to you. All right, Miss Suzanne. Ready? Good night, Miss Lori, honey. So you have enlightenment, And then you have stillness. Yes, Miss Sylvie, because you have 2 for tonight. And then you have flexibility. And then you have flow. All right. Let's talk about this. I don't know why you've been questioning this lately, but as soon as I turn this card over in this first position with all of the different things that I've read for you for lately, yes, you did have a big epiphany. You had a humongous epiphany, but for some reason you're talking yourself out of that epiphany. I don't know if it's that you're not trusting your gut on that epiphany, or it feels like it's just, sometimes when you're around somebody and they're super nice to everybody, but something in your gut is like, oh my God, that person's a dick. Like, what the fuck? And you just don't like that person, You don't know why you don't like that person. So you try to force liking that person. And then you find out later, a couple weeks later, whatever down the road, they really are a dick. And you were right to begin with. But you forced yourself to like that person and to be around that person because everybody else liked them. It's that same thing. Where we tell our gut, we're like, no, they're really a good person. And we find out later they really weren't a good person. That's exactly what's happened. You did have an epiphany. Your gut is right. All of the things that your cards, your divination tools have been telling you, they're right on the money. But for some reason, you're kind of glossing over that red flag right there. You 100% did have a massive epiphany. That's why everything has been kind of still. This is the stillness card. That's why everything has been really, really still lately. It's why everything's almost like frozen. Does that make sense? You had the big epiphany. And you didn't react. And the universe wanted you to react. Like the universe wanted you to react. And you didn't react. So everything has gotten like still. I'm going to advise you to revisit that epiphany. I am also going to advise you, because this is the flexibility card, to be ready for big changes and big shifts. And I don't think it's just job-wise either. I think this is with you, because you also have the flow card right here. So you have flexibility and flow here at the end. You have flexibility and flow here at the end. Thank you, Christine. I appreciate that. I'm trying to figure out the best way to... You know how when you walk into a room and you can't remember why you walked into the room, but you just continue walking on into the room? I'm going to advise you to back up out of the room and stand there for a minute, just looking in, okay? Because I don't think that you need to remember why you were going into the room. I don't know why this is so wiggly. I don't think you need to remember why you were going into the room. I think you need to step out and reassess the room. Does that make sense? So with this stillness right now, I think that you need to be looking around and paying attention and just seeing where it is that you need to be flexible, and where you're going to have to just kind of go with the flow. But by stepping out of the room and reassessing the room, that's when you're going to see where this epiphany was. It hasn't left. It's still there. Good. I'm glad that makes all the sense to you. I was like, I hope that this makes sense, because this is what I feel like I need to say. Reassess the situation. Okay? Just saying. Thank you guys for all the new followers this evening. I've seen you guys pop up. I really appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right. Sylvie, you're next. So I'm going to do just one of yours because I see that Christine is messaging you. And I don't want you to lose that. Good. I'm so glad, Miss Suzanne. I'm so glad. I'm glad to hear that there are some big changes at work. Yeah, I'm so glad. All right. Maybe. Okay. Hey, girly, how are you? Okay, I'll look at it here in a little bit. So I'm going to do Miss Sylvie and then Tracy, and then I'm going to go to bed for the night. And, yeah, I'll finish my tomorrow reads tomorrow. Check me out doing the things. Oh, my God, that makes me happy. This fucking guy. All right, we ready? I'm going to give you all the cards and then, well, good luck at your doctor's appointment in the morning. All right, you ready? I'm going to give you all the cards and then we're going to talk about them all together. So you start off with happiness, and then flow, and then stand still, and then me not dropping the cards, and then opportunity. Okay. Because this is an interesting read, and it's like trying to figure out how time actually works. All of that weird happiness streak that you've had to squish lately on purpose, all of that excitement, all of the contentment, all of the just being happy in life that you kind of had to like squish from people. Don't squish it anymore. Don't squish it anymore. Don't squish it anymore. You're one of those people that when you're happy, you're really, really fucking happy. There are people that the reason they can't stand happy people is because they're not a happy person. The reason that they get mad when people come in and they're super fucking happy is because their life is miserable, and when they see other people happy, instead of being happy and going through what they're going through and being happy about what the good things are and so on, they tend to hate the people that are happy. This is why you see people that their life is just going horrible, right? Just horrible. Just one thing after another continues to happen. And so they can't be happy for anybody else because they can't appreciate the good things that they do have. They only want to talk about the bad and the negative. So they hate anybody that's doing better than them. Their neighbor may have they just see their neighbor pull up in a new car, right? They're like, oh my God, look at that guy just pulling up in a new car. Like, what the fuck? Like, where did he get the money for a new car? They're all over it, right? I hate him, thinks he's better than me. They may not realize that maybe they had a really bad car accident and had totaled their car. And that's the only way that that person got a new car. Maybe they didn't know their neighbor got in a really bad wreck and was hurt for a long time and is just happy to fucking be alive. And after forever got a check and was able to get a new car. They don't care. They don't want to find out. They don't want to go over and be like, oh my God, dude, your new car is gorgeous. I love this color. Like, why did you get a new car? You know, they don't want to be a neighbor and go be happy for their friend. They just want to hate that. They see people that live in a nicer house. They just want to hate them. They don't know what that person had to go through to get there. So those days when you want to be really happy, I don't give a shit if you're annoyingly happy. You've gone through all the shit to be able to be fucking happy. Be fucking happy. And if somebody wants to be hateful about it, if somebody wants to be a dick about it, that says a lot about them. It says a lot about them. You are going to have to kind of go with the flow with it a little bit as well, with the ebbs and flows of that happiness. You're one of those people that I know, I mean, and it's sad, but it's few and far between to find somebody that's just genuinely happy a lot. But still there's an ebb and a flow with it. Like some days you probably annoy your own self with how happy you are. And then other days, you know, it might be a little down here where that's other people's normal happy. There's a flow to it. Those days, this is going to sound really stupid. I mean, maybe it won't. I don't think it's stupid. But when it comes out of my face, I'm like, you sound crazy. And I don't have weird, crazy things going on right now. So those days when you're super, super happy, those days when you have more happiness than you know what to do with it, put it in something. I know people are like, oh, you can't bottle this, you can't bottle that. No, you can't bottle it, but you can 100% and focus some of that energy towards somebody whose life is going really rough right now, somebody who just needs some happiness. You can funnel it literally out into the world. You can funnel it into a crystal, a stone, whatever. You can funnel it into an animal. You can funnel it, I mean, everybody knows somebody with an older dog or cat or whatever. Everybody knows somebody that has an older relative. You probably do. You can funnel that literally just out in the fucking universe. You can funnel it into the trees, into the grass, into the ground. Why do you think that people's houses, people that are super happy like that, why do you guys think that their houses and their houseplants are always so much more vibrant than everything else? I'm just saying what I'm saying. The next thing is this, because remember how I said there's the standstill and there's the opportunity, and it's like we're talking about the happiness and all this other stuff. There's going to come a time here in the next week or so that you're going to need some of this like bottled up happiness. Whether it's just a really, really hard shit day of work, whether it's dealing with somebody that's a fucking dick, whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? By funneling some of that happiness into something, then you can use that when you're at this standstill next week. Because having that little jolt of energy, it's like running out of gas and not having a gas station in sight, but having a couple gas cans full. of everything that you need to keep going. That's what's going to let you grab hold of this opportunity when you're at a standstill. There's a reason that there's a reason I don't ever take this off. I used to take it off when I colored my hair. I don't even do that anymore. There's a reason that I have worn this thing religiously for a few years now. There's a reason I play with it all the time. It's not just because I like it. It's because pie stones specifically are a tool, and a pie stone is a stone that just has the hole through the middle. It's like a ring. There's no beginning, there's no end. A pie stone is a tool that people that walk a shamanic path use. It's not just a pretty stone. To regenerate and channel their energy. They use it to tie their shamanic bands, their energetic bands, and usually this is given to you by your teacher. By sitting here against your skin, it gets attuned to your energy. A mala you wear for 40 days straight. So it gets attuned to your energy, the highs and the lows, the good and the bad. So when you have highs, it can help even it out by sucking some of it in. And when you have lows, it can help even it out by giving some of it back. Do you see what I'm saying? The same thing goes for rosaries. The same thing goes for pendants. No, you weren't wrong to buy yours at all. Anything like that. Whatever you have, Sylvie, that you wear all the time, whether it's, a ring, whether it's a pendant, whatever, I'm going to advise leaving it on all week as much as possible. Does that make sense? I'm going to advise keeping it on you as much as possible this week because you're going to need it, channeling a lot of this energy and sucking a lot of this energy into it so you can have it when you're at the standstill next week. And here's the thing. This standstill, I don't think is some big, horrible, horrendous event in your life. Okay? The Unakite stone, okay? I don't think that this is some massive, horrible thing. What I do think is it's just one of those days where it seems like nothing fits, nothing goes right, and it's just frustration after frustration. It's just a rough day. But I think that you need to see that by channeling your own energy and bottling up some of your own happiness for days like that is going to build your confidence in yourself and in your gifts. It's going to show you that that can be done, and there's no reason for there to be a day like that ever again. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like proving to yourself that you can do these things, and then whenever this opportunity pops up, it's like, well, holy shit, I can do this. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I'm just saying what I'm saying. So somebody asked if I sleep with my mala on. No. I sleep with this and usually with this necklace on, but sometimes this thing rolls around and it chokes me and I have to take it off. But this is the only one that I sleep with. So yeah. I don't sleep with my mala on, and I wouldn't recommend that you guys do either. This one right here is individually knotted. A true mala is going to be individually knotted. So that way if it breaks, then you may only lose like one bead or whatever. But the knots also represent something specific. Now this one right here, this is not individually knotted. This is a true mala, but it's a Bodhi bead mala. So it's different. same but different. I wouldn't recommend sleeping in them because they're usually pretty long. So, yeah. I know I have Miss Tracy to go. Tracy, I'm going to do you first tomorrow because it's already after 12:30 here. And I don't want to keep you guys up too much longer because it's weird for me being way over here and knowing that it's already 12:30, even though my brain's like, no, it's not. It's only 11:30. It's 12:30, bitch. And we have to get up kind of early in the morning. So Miss Tracy will be first on my list tomorrow. Christine, will you make sure that I remember that? Did I remember that? So yeah, I love you right back, Miss Sylvie. I do not sell these. These are actually really, really hard to find. I have mine knotted so it wouldn't get in the way today because I wanted to wear it to Brody's graduation. So Bodhi beads, these are actual seeds. This is what a traditional mala that a Buddhist monk would start off wearing. They're really, really, you're going to see the discoloration in some of them and then not others because this is a newer one. I just got it in January. The one I have at home that I also purchased in January, this one cost me about $100. They're hard to find because it's illegal to gather these. It's illegal to gather the Bodhi seeds anymore. This one came from Tibet and it's old, but it was new. It had never really been worn and used. So you'll see where some of the beads have some discoloration on them. That's from being worked. It's from the oils in your skin. Whenever I get back, I'll show you guys the other one I have. The beads are smaller and they're dark because they've been worked. That particular mala I have at home is like 15 to 20 years old, and it's been used almost on a daily basis for 15 to 20 years. So as you use these for meditation, then they change, like they physically change. Yes, they are usually bumpy too. I know you guys can see they look like little brains. And then there's always a big one in the middle. But you guys can see the patterns on them. So these are kind of hard to find. So when I found this one, especially a new one, I needed it. So, but I'll show you the one that I have at home. Is there a substitute? So I've had this one for a long time. You can get wooden malas. This is the first mala that I got, and it is one of my favorite pieces. It is one of my favorite pieces. I've had it for over 4 years now, and I've worn it almost every single day for 4 years. It's like 4 different stones, and it has the tassel at the bottom, which, as you can see, is pretty beat up at this point, but it is what it is. This mala has been to some very special places. It's been worn by some very interesting friends of mine. And yeah, it's a lot of times I really feel weird without it. You do meditate with it like a rosary. This one and this one. The reason that a mala has a big bead in the center like this is because when you meditate with them, you hold them on your middle finger like this, and you move them with your thumb. Every time you breathe, you roll it forward. Then you take a breath, you roll it forward. You're not supposed to touch it with this finger. And then when you get to here, you know, like you go completely around, you know that you are completely done, and you turn it and you go back the other way. So a traditional mala is individually knotted, and there are 108 beads on this. There's 108. 108 breaths make up an hour of meditation. So, yeah. There are 108 beads on here as well. These are not individually knotted because a brand new one, You can see it better up here. A brand new one like this, the beads are huge. As they're worked over the years, they get smaller, and then they're usually restrung, if that makes sense. But yeah, so they are used like a rosary, but for meditation. So they're very useful for anxiety attacks, by literally just taking a breath, moving the bead, taking a breath, moving the bead. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. All right, I'm gonna get off of here for the evening, and Miss Tracy will be first tomorrow, and I'll finish with the rest of mine. So yeah, all right. You guys get some rest, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'm gonna get that that short live earlier downloaded and put on the YouTube because it was interesting. Yeah, if you guys didn't know about malas, look them up. Look up some history about them. Look up what they are and what they mean and all this stuff. It's interesting. Look up what the Bodhi bead means, Bodhi tree. Just saying. All right. Thank you, Sylvie. For those of you guys that are on my Patreon, just know that I will be adding some video and some photo and stuff. I'm not going to do it here on TikTok. I may do a little bit for you subscribers because you guys are the ones that allow me to do what I do. So, yeah. All right, guys. I'm really going to shut up. I will see you tomorrow.